Tennessee Titans fans, it is that time of the week where we go check out the Tennessee Titans Reddit page to see what some of the fans are saying over there on Reddit about the team and about the state of the team. We got some pictures, we got some posts to show, and we are starting with this one from PFREF that says, over the last 5 games, Tony Pollard has 464 rushing yards. Only 11 Titans have had a 5-game stretch with more. I have said this many times on the podcast that Tony Pollard, I know everybody is upset that Derrick Henry is not with the Titans anymore. Derrick Henry having a great year with Baltimore. I understand Derrick Henry's an all-time great. There's nobody else like him. He's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But don't lose sight of the fact that Tony Pollard has been really, really good for the Tennessee Titans, especially against New England the other day, but he's been good all year. He's been the offensive player of the year for the Tennessee Titans, and he's been legitimately good, and you need to give him his flowers while he's here. He's probably going to be back next year. I know losing Derrick Henry is tough, but Tony Pollard has been very, very good. Jay Bailey 079 shared this meme with the caption, "Me watching D-Hop catch his second touchdown of the night on primetime." And it is the kid pouting, saying, "Congrats. Happy for you. Nice." Yeah, that's a tough one too. DeAndre Hopkins, obviously, you hate to see him go, but you get why the Titans did it. Because he was going to be gone at the end of the year anyway. You might as well get some trade value for him, get some draft capital. And you know what? I appreciated the shout out with the Remember the Titans dance after his touchdown. He confirmed on Twitter that, that was a shout out to the Titans. Was not meant to be kind of him being disrespectful, but it was meant to be a shout out, a sign of respect to the Titans. And I think D-Hop is a class act in an NFL and in a society where, a lot of times people don't have good things to say about the teams that they used to play for. DeAndre Hopkins is an absolute class act, and even though I wish he were still with the Titans, I get why we had to trade him, and it's good to see him going off over there in Kansas City. No doubt about it. Let's go check out another post. This one is from Danny23A, and it reads, the topic is ex-Titan players, and it says, "Are y'all ready for Fulton, Molden, and Haskins to have career games against us this Sunday? This is the Titans way." Well, it's more than just those 3 because Bud Dupree is also a Charger. T.R. Tart is also a Charger. So the Titans will have numerous guys on the other side that are former players that could continue the curse of former players going off against the Titans. I have said this before. I don't think any team enjoys letting their former players just torch them quite like the Titans do. I'm so glad we're not playing the Ravens this year because Derrick Henry, I'm just worried about the type of game that he would have. But yeah, I'm worried about it too. I can just see Christian Fulton or Elijah Molden getting a pick 6, T.R. Tart getting a sack, Hassan Haskins getting a forced fumble on special teams, Bud Dupree getting a sack. You can just see all of that before us on this Sunday against the Chargers with that many former players with them. It just feels like it might be one of those things because we've seen it so many times before. Smokey Bear posted this. End of regulation, you've got the guy saying, "I want to win." The other guy saying, "I want to tank." And then the end of overtime, "I wanted to win. I wanted to tank." It is the battle of, when you have a team that doesn't look good. We're kind of at the halfway point of the season, and some fans were mad that we beat the Patriots. Some fans were happy that we beat the Patriots. I get it. Draft position is important. Wanting a high draft pick is important, and, you have to lose to get those. I understand it, but, I said it on the podcast Monday, to expect the players and coaches to intentionally go out there and tank for draft picks. The players and coaches do not think like we do as fans. They're going out there to win, and I respect that because they put the work in. They put their bodies on the line. they're not going out there to lose. They don't care about draft position. I totally get that. I get as fans, though, we do think about that. So I get it if you're thinking the Titans need to lose. But I also think it's beneficial to win games because these young guys like J.C. Latham and Jarvis Brownlee and Peter Skoronski and T'Vondre Sweat, they need to feel what it's like to win. They need to feel what it's like to be in that winning locker room after the game, having a good time. I don't think it's good for those young guys to just have doom and gloom all the time. You need to win sometimes. How do you establish a winning culture if you never win? You've got a first-time head coach in Brian Callahan who needs to figure out what it's like to win games, what it takes to win games, whether it's pretty or not, whether there's a heck of a lot more losses than wins. You got to figure out how to win. And for the Titans to win a game in overtime in a close contest like that, I think that's beneficial as well, even if not everyone agrees with me. Let's go back for another post. This one is from XE. Is that XE Velocity? XE VLO City. Feeling hopless for our team. I think that's supposed to be hopeless, but we are also hopless because D-Hop is no longer with us. It says, I thought we were going to be a really good team this year, and already I feel like we are going to have the same record we've had for the past 2 years, and it just makes me hate being a Titans fan. Yet I put on my Ryan Tannehill jersey and drag on. Drag? You put on drag to watch the Titans? Or I drag on. I drag myself on. I drag myself through. I thought he meant he put on drag. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just say that I thought he was saying he put on drag. I put on my Ryan Tannehill jersey and I put on my drag to keep watching the game. Ow! Listen, I think all of us hoped that this team would be better. I had their ceiling as being 9-8. If everything went right. It has not all gone right. The quarterback position is not good. There are certain positions on the offensive line that are not good. There are holes on this team. And maybe we were a little unrealistic in our expectations, and that's on us. You're being generous in saying they're going to end with the same record they did the last 2 years, because 2 years ago they were 7-10. Last year they were 6-11. I don't even think they're going to get to that right now. I mean, they're 2-6 right now, and there's still some tough games coming. But I just hope that we can put on our Ryan Tannehill jerseys and our drag and continue on our way. Tay James 2 posted this. It is NWI saying, "Look at me. I'm the captain now." What a turnaround for NWI with the Titans, honestly, because there was a time, if you remember, a few years ago where people didn't even want NWI on the team anymore. He was kind of having to be the number one wide receiver for the Titans there for a little bit, and people just kind of resented him because he's not a number one wide receiver. But how he has changed his favor with the fan base, because now everybody loves him. And, he's a legitimate touchdown machine. He gets open. He's a reliable target. He's consistent. He finds the end zone every week, seemingly. I think he has 4 touchdown receptions on the year. And all of a sudden, I always said my problem was never with him being on the team. I never stopped wanting him on the team. First of all, he was a good special teams player, but I also thought he did some good things in the pass game. I just knew he was not a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, which is what Vrabel had him trying to do. Some of that had to do with the fact that Traylon never quite worked out. They brought in guys like Robert Woods, and that didn't ever work out. But NWI has found a good spot on this team. He's a reliable target when everybody else is covered. And he still does good things, on special teams. So NWI, glad to have him. And he needs to be a Titan for life, honestly. He needs to just be with the Titans forever. And, as long as he's here, I know we are glad to have him. Let's go back for another post here from Crash Riot, who says, "Am I crazy that thinking of moving on from Levis at this point in the season is silly? At this point, we're not going to be any good. Whether we win 2 games or 8, it doesn't matter. We're back in the bad times." That being said, I just don't buy the injury report, and I have a feeling that they're using it as a cover to bench Levis. So what is the problem with just letting him try to prove himself and let it rip, whatever that means to him? At this point, I trust Levis more than I trust Callahan. I don't know about that. He performed better last year under a different head coach. Let's at least try to make the rest of the season fun, even if we're going to lose games. You know, this may be an unpopular opinion. This may be not fun to hear, but losing is not going to be fun. I don't care if Will is airing it out and doing all this stuff. At least for me, like, losing's not going to be fun. You know, when you get to the end of a year and you've got 3-4 wins, there's no way you can dress that up and make it fun. So there's nothing fun about losing to me. Nothing fun. There's no way you can do it that makes it a jolly good old time. In terms of him being good under a different coach, he had what I consider to be two good performances last year. The debut against Atlanta, the Monday nighter against Miami, and I will give honorable mention to the performance at Pittsburgh on the Thursday night game last year. But overall, I think we might have over-glamorized those performances a little bit. Not that they weren't good, but just there was some bad from him last year too, that we kind of swept under the rug because we just blamed it on the offensive line. We blamed it on Vrabel. We blamed it on anything but him. We blamed it on him being a rookie. If anything, we blamed it on him being a rookie. He'll learn. I just think it would be a mistake to blame his troubles this season all on other people. I've seen people say things like, well, he was fine until they tried to make him fit a system. He was fine until they tried to scheme stuff up. Guys, if you are a quarterback and you can't play within a system and you can't work within a scheme, then you're not an NFL quarterback. Like, I get that we love the idea of just him going out there and slinging it and playing backyard football, but this is the NFL. If you can't play within a system, you're going to have to go find another line of work, or you're going to have to take some years and get better. So I don't think that's a fair assessment to say that it's a coaching issue and that's the only reason he's bad. I also don't think it is ridiculous to throw out the idea of just giving up on him at this point because, I understand the idea that says we need to be more patient with these young guys, but also, after the Colts game, I came on here and said I was done with the Will Levis experiment. So I don't think it's out of bounds to say that the Titans need to look elsewhere in the offseason. But I do agree with you on this, Crash Riot. At this point, the Titans are probably not a playoff team anyway. Why not just put him in there and let him do whatever? You got to see what you've got with him, and you've got to know at the end of the year what you've got. So I do agree with you. They need to put him in there for better or for worse. I don't know with the injury. I don't think they would bench him because it makes no sense. So I think it's just been an injury issue. Wolf of Redraft uploaded this. I guess we're doing playoff hopes now. It's kind of that way, the Titans were 1-6 and they pick up a win over the Patriots, and all of a sudden it's like, oh. I said this today on my podcast. We all laugh, but if the Titans somehow go on the road and beat the Chargers this Sunday, you're going to get a little interested. You're going to get your hopes up just a little bit. Because you're going to be like, okay. Because the AFC is not very good, except for the top few teams. Once you get to the 6 and 7 seed in the AFC, it's kind of wide open. So the Chargers are one of the teams ahead of them. So if they beat the Chargers, they're going to be kind of in the mix technically. And you're going to get interested, I'm telling you. But that's just, a lot of that has to do with the fact that the AFC is just not very good right now. And there's a lot of bad teams, and a lot of them happen to be in the AFC, and that rhymed. That's going to do it for me checking out the Reddit page of the Tennessee Titans. Let me know what you think about these topics, what stood out to you, and I will see you very soon. Tighten up, everybody. Bye.